Good morning, YouTubers. T Square with T Square Talk. Hope everybody's having a great day. Today, we are going to review all the comments that we had come in yesterday. We had a lot of comments. We had about 65 comments show up. So, we're going to review a lot of these comments. It's something I like to do every Friday. Currently, I'm not doing videos on the weekend. However, there's a chance I will put up a video on Saturday. And if I do, what I will probably do is review all of your comments from this video on our Saturday video and talk a little bit about a wrap up on what happened over the course of the week and kind of give people a little something to think about while they're going into their weekend, deals, opportunities. I did do videos last weekend for the first time in a while, testing it out, and we had good reviews on Saturday, a lot of views. Not very good views on Sunday, so I'm probably not going to do a Sunday video, but you never really know. There's a possibility I will be going live this weekend, if not this weekend, next weekend. So I'm just kind of giving everybody a heads up a little bit, just kind of keep your eyes open. We do have our members event that happens every weekend, and for people that would like to consider becoming a member, it's a lot of fun. It's only $1.99 minimum to become a member. So a lot of cool perks with that, and so I appreciate it if you do become a member. But if you don't, I understand. Membership ain't for everybody. So with that being said, we're going to jump right in. We're going to take a look at the prices first, and then after that, we are going to go through the comments. If you enjoyed today's video, please take a quick minute, hit that thumbs up button for me. And I can't thank y'all enough for watching and commenting. And if you're not subscribed, do the ultimate, because we are trying to grow the channel. Hit that subscribe button. It really helps me out more than you know, and it costs you nothing to be subscribed. So, okay, with that being said, let's start. What the heck?
I was scrolling on eBay looking for a car.
What the heck happened?
Mine.
How rude.
No, was right.
What the heck? I don't know what that's
It
coming
had to
from.
be an alpha. I found one on eBay.
What the heck?
It just needed to be a bit more bellissima. Gave a quick tune-up. The essentials. Then I drilled down every winding
I don't know where that's coming from. Hold on.
and eventually bumped into you.
Tutto questo da eBay.
Allora.
Thousands of cars, millions of parts.
I don't know where that's coming from. I hope I don't get in trouble for that. I don't know where that came from. And I can't figure it out now either. Somewhere, some kind of ad popped up. So that's not going anywhere. That's not going anywhere. Hold on, give me a minute. That was so crazy. I hadn't had that happen in a while. I don't know what the heck happened there. With that being said, I'm so sorry. Jumping in real quick, somehow one of the windows that I have open to talk to you guys about started playing an ad, and so that's what you were hearing. Trust me, I'm not advertising for anybody. With that being said, let's get started. Right off the bat, we have silver. We have silver trading at 48.45. That kind of got me shaking a little bit. That threw me off my game. So 48.45. A lot of up and down right now. We'll see how this plays out. We have the Fed meeting coming next week, so we could even see it come down a little bit more as the dollar gets stronger. We've been keeping an eye on the dollar index as of right now. The dollar index up to 99.09, and like I said in a previous video, there's a good chance we're probably going to roll up to 100, which will strengthen the dollar and could possibly push silver down a little bit. However, that is only for the short term, I believe, and then after that, things could get wild, especially as we go into the new month. Probably after the first few days of the new month, I expect we could start to see a little bit of a pop back up in silver prices. So I think this may be one of our last probably good opportunities this weekend, maybe next weekend to pick up some extra stuff. So we'll see how that all plays out. Taking a quick look at the gold price right now. We got the gold price trading at 41.05. Down a little bit. It's been a lot of back and forth, not as low as it was. We had it down to $4,004, which was pretty devastating for a lot of people. We got Bitcoin currently trading at 111,000 as of right now. And I don't know if this was the one that the ad started playing, because it's not letting me shut the ad to show right now. I'm not really sure why. I normally like to show the assets based on market cap, even though I pretty well know them by heart. I could probably tell you what they all are. I think it was this that started playing, but I'm not sure. I don't know why. It did that. Now that ad's not even closing out. So currently we have the national debt at 38 trillion. A lot of you guys saw that video yesterday they put up where they snuck that $80 billion in. I don't know if that was actual, if there was like a one thing that slid in all together over the course of the day. We did $100 billion. Obviously, you can see it ain't going up at that pace now, because when I did the video yesterday, we were at 38 trillion and 20 billion. I can't help to wonder if they slid that in there just to kind of pop us over to the 28 trillion, and then it won't get talked about on the news if people aren't seeing it, until people will go and look, and then it'll be too late to write the story because it will be essentially old news. So I wonder if that is not going to be the case and how this could play out. With that being said, we're going to jump right in and take a look at some of these comments that people have questions and asked. I try to give my input on everything. I don't know if we got a ton of just good mornings or if we have a lot of comments, period. Thank you, T. Good content. Tried last night to buy the dip, but I missed it. Stacking anyway. Keep up the great content. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, Dan. Yeah, if you're not really focused right now on what's going on, you could miss dips. There's going to be wild swings, big volatility in the markets. Best time, keep an eye, see what it closes out on Friday. My worry, we could see, maybe we'll see a little bit of a pop on Friday, only to see the beatdown on Sunday night. However, they could also try to beat the price down a little bit more on Friday. That way they have good media to really diss and trash talk gold and silver as we go into the weekend. So we'll see how that plays out. The old one. Good morning, T. Enjoy the video, amigo. Thank you so much, my friend. I really do appreciate that. Let's see. Get text. Good morning from North Texas. I'm more of a 20-minute person, but like today, I listen through when instead I have a bunch of time. So yeah, I understand that. A lot of people like short videos. I kind of like listening to shorter videos, but I sometimes get tied up into those long podcasts from people that I like listening to, and I think they put out a lot of good information, and then I will just sit there and listen the whole way through. So thank you so much for that great comment. Jack, thanks. Great video. Thank you very much, my friend. I appreciate that. JC Stacker. Hey, T. Great info and video. Question for you. I'm looking to get a tube of American Silver Eagles or a 1/4 ounce Gold Eagle. American Gold Eagle. Which would you consider the best option right now? So honestly, my opinion, I would be targeting the Silver Eagles. Only because if I had to choose between those two items, I would take the silver. I still think silver is undervalued. Think about it. Less than a week ago, we were at 80 to 1, 79 to 1. Now we're back up to 85 to 1, and it might have even gone a little higher now. I don't think these hires will sustain. If I was given the option even to trade some of my gold to someone for silver, I would probably jump on it. I had one person that I saw that traded a 1/10 ounce Gold Eagle and got a 10 ounce silver bar. He then did it again, same transaction, except had to kick in a $20 bill to kind of make it seem a little more fair for the gentleman. However, when a 1/4 ounce got moved up, he's like, how about I give you 2 bars for the 1/4 ounce? And obviously you guys know that would not be as good of a deal. But at 10 ounces to 1, if given the opportunity, there are people out there that are willing to do that. And a lot of that stems with they think silver will continue to fall. And, so they're willing to let go of the silver, even if they got to get rid of a little bit more silver, to take gold because they see gold as the safe asset. If they both start falling, chances are silver will fall a lot harder. However, if we see a pop in gold and silver, then we'll probably see silver go up a whole lot faster. So that's my thoughts on that. Generic, I would probably have given the choice to get generic or Silver Eagles. If you're going to buy a tube that's 20, if you turned around and somebody said, I'll give you 21 generic ounces instead of the tube of Eagles for the same price, I would probably target the generic ounces in a case like that because, I mean, that's 5% more silver. 21 to 20, 20 to 21, that's 5% more silver. That is a great return in my opinion. So, Eli, great video. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate that. Good morning, T. Good morning, Donnell. Good morning, T. I am truly and extremely grateful for you making your videos. If I could, can you make a video on the weekend? I really have nothing really better to do on the weekends. So watching your videos would highlight my day. If you make a video, I will definitely be watching, including your shorts. Your short videos over the weekend are always interesting. You show some of the most beautiful scenery that I have seen in a long time. I still remember the one short you made that had the deer. That was pretty crazy, the deer one in it. That was pretty beautiful. I love the nature. So yes, please continue to make your videos on the weekend. So yeah, if I get enough comments on this video, I will definitely try to do a video either Saturday or Sunday, most likely Saturday. And yeah, the deer video, that was crazy. Driving through a neighborhood and seeing all those deer just sitting on someone's lawn, it was pretty insane. So yeah, that's fun. I really like doing the short videos because the short videos are really more personal to me because it's stuff that I see in my everyday life, stuff that I'm coming across. I actually just made a short video, though I forgot to post it last night, where I walked by a Coinstar and it was loaded. I've never seen one like that with change. There was literally almost $2 in change in it probably. And none of it was silver though. That was the down thing. Because I mean technically one silver quarter, I mean boom, you just beat $2. However, it was interesting to see as much change was in there just sitting in that dispense tray at the bottom. So pretty cool on that note. Faceless Silver Stacker. Good morning, T and all. Thank you so much. Matt. Let me scroll up a little bit so I can see what Matt has to say. Matt, your logic always aligns with what is really happening. The thing to remember with all the chaos is what history has shown for thousands of years. When civilizations and economies crumble, the people with precious metals stay alive. Every day is a good day to preserve and invest. The dollars and paper is not sound in the long run. And that's absolutely right. Typically, when a country moves away from fiat, when it moves away from gold and silver and they move into fiat currency, generally that's a sign that the collapse really starts ramping up. It doesn't happen instantly, but it does eventually happen. And now it's interesting because we've never seen a time period where every single country was on fiat currencies. And that's why this next one is going to be extremely bad because so many people have moved away from sound money, gold and silver, and moved into fiat money, which is paper and notes, and soon even digital. And I know some people will try to make an argument that digital currencies are not fiat currencies because they are limited in production run, as in there's only so many, say Bitcoin for instance, there's only so many Bitcoin out there. However, if you have to rely on the internet, all that stuff, I'm not a fan of it. We seen firsthand what happened about a week ago when I think it was Amazon payment went down, and Amazon is a huge company. So for their payment networks to all go down, that really makes me wonder if there wasn't some kind of a revision or an update getting put in there, possibly even to prepare for something major that's coming. However, that is speculation right now, but you never really know what could happen. So yeah, anytime you get an opportunity, I don't care what it is, to pick up a little bit of silver, a little bit of gold, I think you're making the right choice. You hold it, you own it, it's yours. Even if it's as little as a couple of silver dimes, I always pick up when I can. So great comment. Let's see here. John, second comment, T. My bank quit selling pennies and can't order anymore. Walmart is rounding up to benefit the customer. And Burger King is rounding both ways, my area in Ohio. So, yeah, I've been hearing a lot of rumors. I actually am working a deal out with someone right now for a bunch of pennies. And I was talking to him this evening. He said, nah, we're good. We're good. We're locked in. They're yours. They pretty much got your name on them. If you want the zinc ones, fine. If not, he has been helping out a grocery store, giving them some zinc ones to kind of help them out more as a favor. I think that's great. It would be nice if the grocery store does a little something for him, maybe gives him a little extra, but he's not the type of person that's after extra. Me, I can tell you, I hate to say this like this, but I know during the cough issue, the pandemic, I actually was trading pocket change to a lot of places with the deal that I would get like a free meal, something like that. I actually did Whataburger multiple times where I sold Whataburger $100 worth of change for a $100 bill, and then I also got a free Whataburger meal. Now, I know some people out there might be like, I had one of my friends laugh at me, and he's like, why? Just buy the darn meal. I said, it's $15. That's like getting 15% on your money instantaneously. I didn't have to buy the meal. I got to keep my $15. And back then, $15 was a lot. That was almost an ounce of silver. And I think, anytime you can get a little something extra, there's opportunity there. I think we will go there with pennies. The thing to remember with the pennies, not all banks have stopped selling them. Some banks are just cutting down on the quantity. I can't walk into a bank now and say I want 4 boxes of pennies. They are limiting how many. There's a lot of pennies out there. The person made a joke that I was talking to this evening. He goes, I'm hearing that there's a huge penny shortage right now because people are essentially holding pennies in their houses. And I said, yeah, me and you got them all. And it's not just me and him. I mean, some of y'all are probably holding a good amount of pennies. I actually seen a person post on Reddit the other night. He posted a pallet full of pennies. He had $3,000 in pennies. And I'm like, darn, that's 120 boxes of pennies. They were stacked 3 high by 10, or 4 high by 10 across by 3 across. So it's pretty insane to see all those pennies. So yeah, keep in mind, we talked about the penny thing. A lot of people out there are still laughing at the pennies. They're not going to be laughing when there's not any pennies to get, and then people start buying them up for higher and higher prices. Pennies, in my opinion, are the cheapest thing. You can't, that I know of anyway, to lose money on them. $100 in pennies is still $100. However, as they continue to get scarcer and scarcer, you will see people paying higher premiums on pennies. And that's where the opportunity comes in. Buffalo Silver. Whenever I see that name, I always think Buffalo. I don't know if you guys ever go to the casinos. There used to be a game that was like Buffalo Wilds or something. And I used to love playing it. I've hit some big jackpots on that. Buffalo. So Buffalo Silver, good morning. I picked up a 10-ounce bar and a 5-ounce bar at $43. Damn. That is phenomenal. $43 for a 5-ounce and a 10-ounce. That is insane right now, cheap. Unless that's a typo. Darn, that is insane right there. That is really cheap. Way under spot. That's like, shoot, with spot at $1.49. That's $6 under spot right now. So that's pretty insane. And then on top of that, a premium. I looked this morning. I could not find any lots of silver online, big lots, for anything under $51. And I looked all over. So, I mean, the premiums are there. They've definitely hitting people on premiums right now. Walks with one. I would love to see $45 silver. And that's based off of a comment that I had said that one of my buddies thinks we're going to go down to 45. However, if we do go down to 45 too fast between now and next week, I would expect premiums to have another jump up, and it'd be even harder to get some silver unless it stays down for a little while. It would really help out. The government shut down, and we're spending billions of dollars a day. So that was insane yesterday, seeing that $100 billion get put on the deficit that quick, all in one day. $100 billion. Now that was a fluke because I looked again and we didn't see that much of a jump over the last 24 hours the next day. So we'll see how that plays out. Somebody needs to ask on what. We can't keep spending all this money. Keep up the great videos. Videos really do enjoy listening to them. Yeah, I mean, who knows where all this money's going? It really is ridiculous that they're just spending out of thin air. I think they know they're just going to reset the system pretty soon, and so it doesn't matter. I'll give you a scenario. I was talking to a buddy of mine. He was going bankrupt, and it was pretty well affirmed that that was going to happen. And I told him, have you just considered, I mean, I hate to say this, I mean, you're going to lose it. Anything you need, just buying it now on credit card. And he's like, well, I don't know. I said, if you're going bankrupt, that's it. It's the end of the line. You know, once you file those papers, that's it. And you will not have any credit for a while. Some people might say, oh, that sounds dirty that you would charge knowing you're going to go bankrupt. I mean, these big credit card companies, let's be honest, they are gouging the heck out of people with their high interest rates right now. Would I do it if I was going bankrupt regardless? I'll be honest, I probably would. However, obviously, if you can stay out of bankruptcy, you don't take the bankruptcy road. What up, T? Silver still sitting around 49 this morning. Yeah, we actually went down a little bit lower even. So yeah, it's down there. I mean, it's not the end of the world. We expect it will probably stay down until after the Fed meeting next week. Possibly, I'll need to look if there's a delivery day too next week. If we do, I mean, there's too many signs for, let me just see if there is. Is there any silver delivery dates coming up? Delivery, let's see. According to the COMEX, October 2025, the delivery window for October futures contracts ends October 31st. Deliveries for November contracts begin on the 3rd of November. So there's a possibility we could see a small pullback. That's why I said we wouldn't see the climb start back up hardcore, I don't believe, until after the 3rd. Well, I said after the first week. So we'll see how that plays out. We've seen some pretty bad stuff come on these delivery dates where they really beat the price down. If that happens, who knows what could happen. I will be keeping my eye out for deals and just picking up anything that I can. Let's see here. I'm having trouble with this mouse today. Let's see. Good morning, T. How's it going? Good morning. I appreciate it. Thank you so much saying good morning, Minnie, Sarah. I do appreciate that. Let's see. Calvin. I'd be interested in your opinion on 40% halves. Ooh. I used to love them. If you watch some of my old videos, I was hardcore. I'm not as hardcore on them now. I'd be interested in your opinion on 40% halves during this odd market around alloyed silver, and whether 40% is desirability will be higher in the future. I figure by now while it's not very desirable and inexpensive compared to 90%. I bought 140% halves at $4 each. Melt is around $7. Yeah, I couldn't believe that melt was all the way up to $7.50. I mean, you're definitely getting it a whole lot cheaper, the silver. Before I keep reading, I'll say it's probably a lot easier to refine that down than essentially try to mine new silver. So if we really needed silver, the refineries will be outrageous busy. But right now they're not taking any of that. Local coin shop said their refining still takes 90% coals, but won't accept 40%. So that's not always the case with a lot of refineries. I know one refinery right now that is not taking 90% because that seems to be the main refinery that a buddy of mine uses. And so he's been dumping 90% cheap. Silver percent, 40% he stays away from. So because he stays away from it, I kind of stay away from it only because he is someone I work a lot with. And if he ain't buying it, then I'm obviously not really able to get it through that source. Will I pick them up for $4 each? I mean, if I was buying 100, I might try to press the situation and say, will you go $3.50? But I understand $4 because $4 was a solid $4 before all this stuff erupted. And getting them that low, $7.15 spot, $4 on the coin. Let me look here real quick at one thing. Silver coin values. Let's just see. Is it still $7 though? I gotta ask that. I gotta look. Okay, yeah. So it's $7.20 right now. So yeah, there's obviously. I'm trying to shut that window. I don't like having windows popping up. So yeah, a lot of people are liking them. Generally, I'm not a fan anymore. Maybe it was because I had so many. I accidentally cashed a bunch of them in when I was cleaning out my house. I didn't feel devastated about the 40%ers like I felt devastated with the 90%ers. It was a huge mistake that got made. I have since learned you never keep silver in paper rolls. I had them kind of hidden in paper rolls thinking, oh, nobody would ever steal them. And sure enough, no, nobody stole them. My butt cashed them in, and I was pretty disappointed in that. At $4, it's hard to make that argument because the silver value is almost always going to be there no matter what happens. If the price plunges, I mean, you're still there. Half would be $3.50, and that's exactly what I was saying a minute ago. I mean, if I get them at $3.50, I would probably take them all day. I would love to get a whole box of them at $3.50. Let me just pull up a calculator right here because that's never mind. 1,000 would be $3,500. I would definitely gamble $3,500 for a whole box of them, and I would try to find a way to put them in some sort of a plastic box, not a box that looks like everyday use, like I messed up on before. Let me grab a quick drink here. Killing my drug of water. Oh, I shouldn't use the K word. I drink a lot of water in the course of a day. Let's see here. Another Thursday morning. Good morning, T. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, Chris. Let's see. The news described a pullback in precious metals like an Indy 500 race where the leader is up 5 laps, and when he pulls off to the pit stop, all they say is that everyone passed him. Yeah. Okay, so they can say that. But let's really take a look at gold and silver for a quick minute. Gold and silver are still the number 1 and 2 performing asset this year. Better than almost all stocks. Better than most cryptocurrencies, including your top-notch ones like Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, that type of stuff. So the fact that anybody would say that, it's pure propaganda. Yes, it had a pullback. It took a nice hit. If you were to look at assets over the last 7 days and compare them, then yeah, silver got passed, gold got passed by just about everything. But we're not looking at 7 days. I'm looking at short run is year to date. How much is it up year to date? Long run still outperforms a lot of stuff, not everything. There are some stuff that has done really well year, obviously, over the long run. Question is that stuff fizzling out? I still love precious metals. I have no intent to go against it. Excuse me. At this point. Looks like the painter's still working. Yeah, so absolutely. Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. Looks like the print. I thought that was a play on this. I messed up. You can see right here where I messed up the my thumbnail. I don't really even know what happened in this case. However, it looks like the printer's still working. Yeah, the printers are still working. They're printing out a ton of money. We just hit 38 trillion. Here's my question. Are 38 trillion with the national debt, but who do we owe the money to? So, other countries? So, it's a combination. Anybody that buys U.S. treasuries is who we owe that money to. It's usually other countries, yes. Japan, obviously, I believe the top one. A lot of smaller countries borrow. Let's see if we can pull up a list real quick. And it's not just money to other countries. It also is liabilities. But let's just see. The $38 trillion debt of the United States government, who do we owe that money to? So the United States owes $38 trillion in debt to two main groups, the public and the federal government itself. Debt held by the public government is owned to the wide range of domestic and foreign investors, including individuals, corporations, banks, foreign governments, the Federal Reserve. It's not exactly what I was looking for. I was looking for the specifics on who had the most. I once had a sheet that said exactly the breakdown of the debt, which was really good. Who owed what? I know Japan was the top one. But that kind of gives you a good breakdown. But remember, it's not just that. It also is like Social Security, it's Medicaid. That's why I said it's in some cases it's people, but the majority of the debt is created by treasury notes that people buy to collect interest. And when I say people, I mean governments. In some cases, a government can sell products that they make, take in dollars for them products, and then take those dollars and reinvest it into treasury bonds, and then collect interest off them every year as they continue to accumulate them. The problem is we are seeing a slowdown in people wanting to buy those treasury bonds. As they get tired or they start seeing interest rates go down, they don't want to buy them as much. People want to put their money where it's most profitable. A lot of us don't keep our money necessarily in dollars in a savings account because we recognize that gold and silver is more profitable. Some people would rather have their money in Bitcoin. I hate to say that. Some would rather have gold. Some would rather have land. A lot of different things. But as the treasury bonds pay less interest, less people will want to hold them. They end up selling them back or cashing them in to the government, and then the government ends up having a hard time making ends meet because they just got too much debt on their hands. So that's about sums it up. Maybe I'll do a video where I really break down this. I now that you got me thinking about it, I'm not going to lie. I want to find that sheet on who exactly owed the most money, because that was changing. I mean, at one point it was Japan, followed by China, followed by Russia, followed by like Great Britain, Australia, and now I'm sure that has all got shuffled up because it's been a couple years, so who knows. It wouldn't bother me if we had a dip down to 40. It's called backing up the truck and reversing gears. Yeah, I mean, I would definitely be happy with that, a $40 dip. But I don't see that happening. I mean, we might go down to 45. I'm going to keep my eyes open if I see opportunities. But like I said, I'm also in the process of moving, which is way more work than I ever thought it would be. And so I've kind of got to play, juggle the ball a little bit on spending on silver and spending on stuff that I want to get fixed at my new house. On the price might go down. Let's go. Yeah, definitely. I would love to see the price come down a little bit more, especially if I can find deals. A lot of people are skittish right now to sell, so who knows. Okay, Dr. K. So much for the beatdown. They just can't seem to keep gold and silver down. Don't get me wrong. They're still trying, bro. They are still trying. We're only up from the low on gold. We're only up a little over $100 of it back, even though we took an over $300 hit. Silver, it took another hit today after it went up, and then it took another hit down. So it does get a little discouraging. But the thing you've got to remember, we're not in it for the short run. And once they have the Fed meeting, and like we just showed you guys earlier in the video, after the 3rd of next month, I mean, things could start getting crazy real quick. Remember how cool it was to buy gold in the mid 3,000 and silver in the 30s, thinking it was expensive. Yeah, I actually got a hard time for helping someone buy a bunch of silver at 29. And then the price went down to 22, and he got frustrated. And then the price jumped up to 39, and he sold it. So who knows? Hard to believe that was just a few weeks ago. Yeah, it wasn't that long ago. It was crazy. Say 40 to fill the gap. Yeah, I would love to see $40. I would. Let's see. Paper is the shortage. Industrial supply is fine. Yep. Paper, they are printing like crazy. That's for sure. Let's see here. Troll, do you think that the price of silver has intentionally been manipulated up recently just to see how many common people would turn in their silver for dollars? So that was actually a question that I discussed with a buddy of mine who is big into buying and then selling to the refineries. And I asked him, is it possible they let the price up? We know they've been manipulating it for years. There's no doubt about that. But did they ease back off the manipulation just to get silver into the system? Because there's always going to be people selling at new all-time highs. And there most certainly was. How much of it got into the system? I mean, there was a lot of people that were selling junk silver. The refineries are trying to catch up right now on the junk silver, on the silverware. So that's something I had wondered. Here's the thing, though. Then they just beat the price back down. It's only going to continue the shortage. I don't think they really took in enough silver to really reduce what's been happening. Think about how frantic they were not even a week ago about, we're out of silver in Australia, we're out of silver in London. All that media attention about being out of silver does not promote people to want to sell their silver. That's the only thing in my mind. If you wanted people to sell your silver and you really wanted it to happen, you would say, it looks like there's some new big project coming out, maybe another Comstock load somewhere else, a new technology, something that would intentionally make it sound like the market is about to be flooded. That's not how they did it. So I don't know. That's a little tricky. I think that the price is naturally going up. They would love to have someone to blame. They're blaming now the speculators that they are just continuing to buy silver, and they're trying to crash the markets and this and that. And then, everybody finally realized that they got broke. That's why the silver price is coming down, and now I think the silver price is slowly creeping back up again because they know that it was manipulated down. So who knows? Let's see. Mana. I'm not sure how you pronounce that. Mona. Mona. Great video. I really do have a question. For someone with less than $18,000 to invest, how would you recommend we enter the market? I'm looking to study some traders and copy their oh my word, I shouldn't have even bothered reading that one, but I will. Investing myself and losing money emotionally. What do you take for an approach? As a beginner, what would I need to do to invest, on which platform? And then obviously somebody mentioned some trader, and on and on and on and on and on. I would take your $18,000, my personal opinion, not financial advice, and I would put it all on silver. There you go. I wouldn't even diversify it. It's 18 grand. You're ready to invest. I definitely would not buy any kind of crypto projects. I definitely would not put it in fake paper thin assets right now. I would go for the real thing. I would go for gold. I would go for silver. And I know that is not what that person would want to hear. Let's see here. And I say person because it's a bot. If I track those accounts down, I've done this before. They're all brand new accounts, every one of them. Here, we'll even check one just for fun. We'll click on one just so I can verify, because I'm going to feel bad if it's like, no, he's been a major player for years. In Canada, 2 friends tried right away. Okay. So let's see here. New tab. Boom. Let's see how long this account's been up and running. I think it's going to be very short. Let's see. One video, 19 years. Darn. Well, if that's a bot, I don't know. Darn, that's a new one for me. Let's see here. Hold on. Let me click on another one real quick. Let me do one where you actually see the guy's name. Let's check this account. It's not that often that you see an account that's been open for that long. It's just driving me nuts now. No videos, no content, no nothing. Account opened October 23rd, 2025. That's exactly what I'm talking about. And I think, well, that was the original one that wrote the question. So, brand new. The person just opened a YouTube account just to ask that one question. So, with that being said, let's move on to the next one. Although that's why I probably had so many comments on the video, because there's a lot of them right there. Let's see. Good morning, everyone. Keep on buying. Thank you so much, my friend. Okay, J. Manson. I'm kind of thinking for a quick minute. I was just kind of thinking that name looks like someone that was. Let's see. I love it. When they manipulate it down, that means I get to buy more for cheaper. Just call me Young China or Young India. People are crying. Use the price manipulation to take advantage of it. Would you cry if you got to buy a Ferrari for cheaper? You get the same Ferrari, but for less currency. Like I said, just because you're stacking, just because you're a stacker, just means you understand sound money. It doesn't necessarily mean you mean you are a good capitalist. Yeah, so that's exactly my thoughts. I'm wondering if that J stands for John. I'm trying to remember. There used to be a John that used to watch my videos that lives in the Houston area. I just can't seem to remember his name. It was driving me nuts. He always used to be on the channel. I haven't seen him in a while. Needless to say, yeah, a lot of people just don't understand. Cheap silver just means a good deal. And I know some people are thinking, oh no, it's going back down to 40, 30, whatever the case may be. Maybe it will, but that will just be even cheaper. If they want to give Ferraris away for this scenario for free to people, who wouldn't take them? If they want to give silver away, I would much rather get 2 ounces of silver for the same price as one. So yeah, that's the key right there. Let's see. Still climbing. Silver is a great investment at the time for people who are investing. I take profits on gold and silver stocks when I feel it's right. Yeah, I mean, so if I was investing in paper or gold and silver stocks and I was taking profits, I would probably want to buy physical with it. That way I'm a little more diversified. If everything keeps going up, then hey, gold and silver will keep going up and I'll keep making profits. If things all come crashing down, physical will be what matters, and so it will really get interesting. Government is shut down, but still getting checks. So that actually was a question that came up today with an individual. They asked if military was still getting paid. To my understanding, military is still getting paid. Some people are. I don't know 100% though. We'll see how that plays out. Great video, T-Square. Yeah, so I don't know. When it comes to the shutdown, the whole thing is crazy. I mean, they need to put everybody just back to work. They're not saving any money if they're going to back pay everything, or if they're still paying everything, unless they're actually going to. What they need to do is say, if these people can't come to an agreement, everybody's pay needs to stop, including Congress, and no back pay. They need to eat it. That would be a nice way to look at it. Ronald saying, great video, T-Square. Thank you so much. Testimonials. It's not the first of the month, and Bitcoin is still living rent-free in T-Square's mind. In fact, Bitcoin is eating T-Square up alive. He can't stop talking about Bitcoin. Do yourself a favor and just buy some already. Now I feel like it's already going back up again. I was really hoping it was going to go down a little lower, and I was thinking about putting a little bit in because I have $50 set aside that one subscriber had sent me, and I thought about putting it to Bitcoin, and I still want to. I just haven't gotten around to really messing with it yet because I've been so busy. It's sitting at 111,000. It's kind of interesting where we're at. We'll see how this all plays out. Let's see. Where was I? But yeah, it's still living rent-free in my head. I ain't going to lie. I still think about it. I still talk about it all the time. So let's see. Testimonial. So great comment on that. Probably not running out, though, and getting too much of it. Exactly what you paid for, and he had to cover your lunch. That dude is an idiot if he did that. Huh? What a ripoff. What? Hold on. I'm confused. Exactly what you paid for it, and he'd cover your lunch. That dude's an idiot if he did. Whoa, no. Because keep in mind, I pick up a lot of silver at spot price. I pick up silver at spot price. I pick silver up in some case. I was picking those dimes up and those quarters up at $3 a dime, and then it went down to 11 for a dime. Someone asked me if he'd go down to 12 for a dime with the silver pullback. So no, someone picking up one of my deals and just covering my lunch, if you own the restaurant, is a steal to do that. I think I wouldn't say he made a mistake doing that. I'm assuming you're talking about the deal that I told you that I let go of a silver bar the other day. Let's see. Probably counting the bullion. 40 billion to Argentina. Oh, so this comment, before I read it all, this comment is based on what happened. How did we accumulate $80 billion on the national debt in one day? Someone said probably counting the 40 billion to Argentina after they took the soybean market from us to sell it to China, and now he wants to buy their beef. Trump just wants to help out his dictator friends. I mean, if you listen to Trump, I can't really disagree. I hate to say it with the whole Argentina thing. I know some people will disagree. I mean, those people are literally fighting for their lives down there. They're starving. It's bad when a government essentially screws everything up, but I hate to say it, our government's screwing stuff up right now. I mean, we got to shut down government. We're still going in the hole, but I understand. I mean, someone's life is probably more important than money. I don't know if anybody's going to come to our aid when that happens here in the United States and stuff starts collapsing. I don't think anybody's going to be there to help us. But I can kind of see both sides of it in that Argentina incident. I don't really know much about the beef trade. I didn't hear about that. I may look into it a little later, though. So I got mixed feelings. Now, I would rather maybe we could send them food instead of money. But I understand why they did the money. They sent the money because we're trying to, one, stabilize them. And then once we stabilize them, we're hoping to enforce them to start backing their currency to the U.S. dollar instead of looking at Bitcoin or looking at any other types of investments. So I kind of see both. I'm assuming, though, that he is doing that to get them to try to back their currency to the dollar. Hopefully that's part of the deal. Let's see. Happy Stacker. Good morning, bro. I like the longer videos. There are too many stacker channels. Everybody thinks they're a metal expert selling or financial geniuses because they can display lots of silver and gold. So I used to display lots of silver and gold. But then I got called out for people thought I was trying to showboat. So now I don't even show anything. I'm like, I rarely show stuff now. I have stuff. I've got probably a decent little stack, but I've been stacking for a while. I'm like, I ain't trying to showboat anything. In fact, I don't care if people think I have 1 ounce or no ounces. Maybe people think I'm not even invested. I have been called on that before when I do my short video. What a lot of people don't realize is my shorts have a lot of recycled videos from the old days. I'll show you what I mean real quick. Shorts. We'll come here to shorts. So if you look at this video right here, follow for small creators. Someone's like, oh my word, look, he's got 3 ounces of gold and all this. But if you scroll down a ways, literally a year, you will see there was a time when I was always showing silver and gold. And that same stack will appear multiple times in multiple videos. Very few people will catch it. You have to really have been following all of the short videos in order to have caught it. But if I scroll down enough, I can find the exact footage. So a lot of footage is duplicated. It's part of the re-upload feature that YouTube has where I can re-upload old videos. I mean, there's been videos that I put a lot of work into and then I was just devastated that it didn't even have 100 views. And I felt cheated. And so, yeah, I end up going back. And if you haven't seen all of my shorts, I mean, you would have a field day to just scroll down and just start checking. Oh, there they are right there. Same video. 534 views. Exact same footage. So people ask me, oh my word, you got all that stack just sitting there. This stack, most of what you see here is not even on my property anymore. It's been moved, and that's it. For a while, I did have a lot on my table, and I was like, no one's going to break in for, I don't know what, 100 ounces, 150 ounces of silver. And then when I talked to someone, they're like, yeah, they would, dude. And so I said, you know what, I'm taking everything to the bank. And I know some people don't like safety deposit boxes. I like them. I've never had a problem with them, but I know it's questionable for some people. I especially like it because I live in a hurricane area. I mean, I was having that discussion with someone yesterday. Could my bank get taken out by a hurricane? He said it's highly unlikely. The vault is going to go. You scroll back enough, though, on this, and you start seeing some crazy videos. Flashback. Back when gold was $1,300. I re-uploaded this video, and I had to put that in there because people are going to be like, what, $1,300? Gold price today, $2,500. Gold is going to keep going up. And sure enough, we have kept going up. And I think it's going to go even higher. Yeah, we're in a little bit of a pullback right now. We've seen these pullbacks before. And I know if you're looking at some of these short videos and you've never seen them before, then see, like this right here, the quarter box. I had 5 tubes of quarters. I think that box is almost done or pretty close to done. If you, oh, this was a good one, but I can't play it. This was an awesome one, but I can't play it because it has music on it, and the music gets hit for the copyrights. But it's allowed to be played in there because there's a special write-up with the song that YouTube allows you if you do the proper chain. But yeah, I like the shorts because I get to show. Look, there it is again. Same video. That was from like 3 or 4 years ago. So that's what I mean about re-uploading the same footage. But I can voice over it, show the footage, and talk about it. So I might show this here when I did this video. I was saying, oh, gold just hit a new high again. We're back over $2,000. And then I take the same video, repost the video, and say gold just hit a new all-time high, $4,400. You know. Darn, that's an old video. Some of these are really old videos. Let's see if I go all the way to the bottom. I can't. I probably can't even go to the bottom because it was so long ago. Now you got me looking at shorts real quick. But yeah, I used to post some crazy stuff. If I go back enough, you'll see some crazy giveaways. I had a full table set up for giveaways at one time where the winner got to pick anything off the table, including gold coins. I slowed that down because it didn't feel like we were gaining the subscribers for the amount of work that went in for giveaways. I was just giving away every single little penny. If YouTube gave it to me, I didn't want it. I just gave it up. Because I really wanted to grow the channel. Now I've came to the conclusion I'm just going to have to wait. It's going to take time. But a lot of cool stuff as you scroll through here. You see some incredible coins, some incredible 1-minute talks. I mean, literally just scrolling down. That's pretty crazy right there. That beef is slow cooked for 3 days over a fire. That is insane. Oh, no, wait. That's actually... I'm sorry, that's a Max Barbecue brisket. That's only a 1-day cooked. There's one video on here where I went to a Brazilian steakhouse and they slow cook it for 3 days. It's insane. Jackpot winnings, different stuff. I still like to play the slots a little bit. Somebody won something. $1.99 memberships. Rice, beans, pasta. Talked a little bit about prepping a lot back in the day. I was trying to see how low it would go, but I think we're getting pretty much there at the bottom. Nope, still goes a lot higher. These didn't turn out to be as good of an investment as I had hoped. These were, when I was buying, certified 1-ounce coins, paying like $50. Now they're only worth like $55, $60 in a lot of cases. And the silver, you could have bought in plain uncertified silver for $25. And now, I mean, the gap has just drastically closed. And I've bought a lot of that stuff over the years. It's kind of crazy actually looking back at these because of all the different stuff that I've picked up over the time. It's crazy. Really is. But, okay, so let's jump back to the comments. I know some people are probably like, what? As I'm just kind of rambling, talking about I was getting into my old shorts. Let's see here. Government shut down, still getting checks. Great video, testimonial. Let's see here. Lunch. Probably counting the 40 billion for Argentina. Good morning. Great video. I like the longer ones. We answered that. John saying, I agree. It's the real deal. Yeah, when I do a video, you're getting the real deal. I don't script anything. I don't even edit stuff. Some people are like, you don't edit your videos? I don't edit. You're getting the real deal. Morning T. Wow, 38 trillion. The higher it goes, the faster it will go. I'm so tempted to max out my credit card and rein in my silver and rein in my credit. What? Max out my credit card, rein my credits just to stack even more silver. I'm already priced out of a new vehicle and definitely priced out of a house. What's the point of having good credit score if you can't buy anything with it worthless fiat? So I definitely wouldn't recommend that. I would not recommend maxing out your credit card and buying silver at this price. We're not. I definitely would not support that idea right now. If all of a sudden we had a major crash, my personal opinion, yes. At this level, you would have to find a really good deal to want to consider doing that. I hear a lot of people are doing that, maxing out their credit cards for different purposes, especially now. So yeah, first of all, let me say, there are a lot of people that are maxing out their credit cards, but a lot of that is because they are getting priced out in everything, every category. They can't buy as much. They can't make enough money. They're struggling to feed their family. They're struggling to pay rent. They're struggling. And to a lot of people, they're going to have to learn the hard way. And then once you've learned the hard way, unfortunately, a lot of those people are going to go bankrupt. And when they go bankrupt, hopefully they took a lesson from it. I hate to say that. So many people go bankrupt and they don't learn a lesson. They just realize at a certain point they are solely working every day just to pay their bills, just to pay the interest. It's easy for that to happen. You get roped up in a high credit, high dollars, and then you are buying stuff that's not going up in value. And you might think someone like me is greedy because all I think about is money or whatever. I mean, first of all, I don't only think about money. However, I do understand that I want my money to grow. I don't want to be forced to be greeting at Walmart when I'm 90 years old. And that is a road that a lot of people are on. But here's the problem. At a certain point, we will probably all go to, I think they call them the Amazon stores, where they don't need tellers, they don't need checkers, they don't need anybody. Everything is filled in the store by robots. Everything is scanned in when you put it in your cart. All we need at that point is consumers. And people are always going to need certain things like food, and you're not always going to need frivolous stuff. I actually picked up yesterday, I picked up a couch. I won't say a new couch, but I picked up a used, beautiful couch. The guy tells me, he goes, I go, I'm kind of interested. I really liked your brother's couch, but I didn't want to spend that kind of money. I'll give you, he told me, hey, how about 2 ounces of silver and you can have my couch. It's a nice couch. And I said, I can only do one right now. 1 ounce of silver. It's a used couch. I said, I'll give you one. I'll give you a really nice ounce. And he said, well, I really just said 2 ounces of silver because I figured you would rather give me silver than cash. I said, nope. I would rather give you $50. You want to take $50 for it? And he's like, no, I'll take the silver. And I said, exactly. I said, I understand what real money is. The fiat dollars that we're using today are losing value too quick. I would almost bet anything that by the time he gets rid of his second couch, silver will probably be double, if not triple, because he just bought a new couch, which means he's probably going to keep that couch for 5 years. Typically, people buy a couch 4-5 years. If you don't smoke, you don't have pets, whatever, you probably can make that last a while longer. And that's exactly what I'm thinking is going to happen. And he's going to look back at that. And that's why whenever I get rid of something, I like to put the money to silver. I like to trade something for silver because I look at it and I say, man, what would that be worth? Well, let's say I looked at buying a RV, and I told the guy he wanted 7 ounces of silver for an RV. I said, I'll give you 5. At the time, 5 ounces of silver was $10,000. It was $2,000 an ounce. The guy was Lord Humongous. That was his YouTube call sign or YouTube name. A lot of you that have been following the channel remember Lord Humongous. He was always on here for the live streams. I haven't heard from him. I hope he's doing good. Needless to say, those same 5 ounces of silver today, $20,000. Chances are that RV has gone downhill over that time period and it's just sat there. That's the way I look at everything. Everything has value, but gold and silver go up in value. Items that we use, either we use them up, we consume them. I hate to say it, there's not much that goes up with age and use. I can't really think of anything that goes up. Some people always want to say, a common one that I hear is fine wine. Fine wine. I said, no, because if you use it, it's gone. You have to not use it. So if you use it, gold, gold. That's it. That's the only thing I could think of. Silver, I mean, some stuff, obviously, someone might come back and say platinum. I mean, yeah, this stuff is stuff you can use. It goes up. It continues to go up with time. And that's it. So who knows? We'll see what happens. Okay, let's see here. Next comments. Good video. The up in the U.S. national debt must be Trump's new ballroom. No, that has already been priced in. Boy, yeah. And yes, Cramer sucks. I still really think on or around the 4th of July of 26, something big with the monetary system is going to happen. Yeah. No, so first of all, the ballroom supposedly was built with donations. I don't know if they were corrupt donations. I don't know if they were legit donations. I don't know. However, that's what they said. I think someone that made the comment earlier that said that's probably the money that we just gave to Argentina. I think that was probably actually most likely why, because it didn't go up anywhere near that over the last 24 hours. So it could have been like a one-off thing. Let's see. $51.50 is crazy. 4 minutes and 19 seconds into 14 minutes and 5 seconds. If you drink tons of water a day, you need to check your blood sugar levels. You want it below 150. So that's funny because I actually just met not too long ago with one subscriber and member of the channel. And we met up at McDonald's, talked a little bit, and then we walked over to Walmart, which was pretty close to it. And I actually bought a blood sugar level reader. Only $20. So I was pretty happy with that. However, I still haven't figured out how to use it or even open the package to learn how to use it. I mean, I literally haven't done nothing with it. One of my buddies teases me because he's been wanting me to get one. And he's like, really, dude? You're not that poor that you can't afford $20 to check it. I do need to check it. I know I am not 150 or 120. I would be willing to bet I'm probably 250, but the last time I checked it and had someone else check it for me, it was 430. So I'm hoping I'm not that high. However, I drink a lot of water naturally because I'm not a big fan of soda. I do have a little bit because lately I've been needing the caffeine rush. I wish they would just make caffeinated water. That would be really cool. To have caffeinated water, but then again, I don't know. That's probably not healthy either. I could never stand Cramer, never. Garbage picks over and over and over. Yeah, absolutely. I will have to look into that. blood sugar levels, though, just in case. Could be why I drink a lot of water. The other day, I actually, one of my buddies was like, "What the heck did you just say?" I said, my mouth got stuck together as I was saying a word. I shut it, and then all of a sudden it got stuck, and I was like, I'm all dried out. I'm thirsty. Okay, then it came out all like slurred, and he's like, pfft. Let's see here. Chris, okay, let's see. If you want to find a true Bible-believing church, good luck. All modern Christian churches are worshiping a different Jesus. Believe in Christ, then go do as they will. Once saved, always saved. I don't know. I'm just so strict on myself when it comes to religion. I have a buddy of mine. He's like, "No, dude, you're saved. You're saved. I'm saved." He goes, "You believe in Jesus, you're saved. That's all it takes." I'm like, I'm a little more hardcore. I mean, I look at my life and I'm like, oh, I sin on this, I sin on that. I mean, I'm a straight up bachelor. I just kind of do whatever. Probably the wrong way of saying it. I mean, if I sometimes go out, I do different things. I think probably, I hate to say this, my stacking keeps me out of trouble more than anything, because I'm too cheap to want to go to the bars as often nowadays. I'm too cheap to want to go out too much. So therefore, that probably keeps me out of trouble a fair amount. Let's see. Hillbilly stacks, but I'm not perfect, and that's why. And I know he always tells me, he's like, "You think anybody's perfect? Jesus was perfect. That's it. Nobody else. Quit judging yourself so harsh." But I am my hardest critic. I will say that. Let's see, the debt clock going up like that. It better be proof here to everybody that the Trump and his administration are lying, are liars and full treasonous deep state players. And I think I'm fully vindicated now about Elon and Trump's Doge department. I said it at the beginning. It was a total farce, a massive lie, and I was right. They have accomplished nothing except making every situation much worse. The only people disagreeing with me at this point are still watching the CIA state-run corporate America media. I just wanted to point that out, that the UN party lied. Again, big surprise, right? So, yeah, I mean, I think the current president, I hate to say that, and I hate to say this because I did like Trump. I think he did an amazing job the first term. I just feel like nothing is getting accomplished right now, and I don't really understand why nothing is getting accomplished. I know things have gotten worse in this country from when he came in, but I also believe that a lot of that has to do with the debt getting worse and worse based on the interest. Let's be honest. He is paying more interest on the national debt than any president has ever paid in the history. So naturally, it guarantees that he spent more than any president in history. So we got to give him some credit that the deck is stacked against him. With that being said, and I don't get too much into politics on here, with that being said, he doesn't seem like the same Trump that was in 4 years ago. Not at all. I don't know if that means that he's got people that backed him when it didn't look like he was going to win, and those people now want payback. They want a return on their investment. Or if things are just getting so bad and countries are just dumping the dollar left and right, that there's nothing he can do. I mean, my opinion, I hate to say it, easy fix. Easy fix. Go in tomorrow morning, call the military, the guy that really runs stuff. I want the military moved into the Federal Reserve today. Secure the building. Nothing comes, nothing goes, and we're going there and we're going to audit that. If the gold ain't there, I hate to say this, come out and tell everybody it is. Then do a closed-door meeting with Senate, Congress, everybody. We need to get gold, and we need to get it fast. We need to secure minerals, reserve stockpiles. We need gold. We need silver. We need to start buying. And yes, it means we need to print money. But we need to use the money on something productive. If we don't, we are done. We are literally done. I'm convinced it wouldn't take much for them to get a lot of gold and a lot of silver, a lot of copper, a lot of resources into the country. Then the next thing I would do, I would end up saying we are now buying gold at $6,000 an ounce. Why would I say $6,000 an ounce? Because everybody in their right mind would, well, I shouldn't say their right minds, because the first part of this wouldn't be just right mind, because there's a second part to this statement that I'm about ready to say. I would say at $6,000 an ounce, we will buy your gold. And I'm hoping a lot of countries would do exactly what the U.S. has been doing and sending silver to London, because they were paying a little bit more for silver in London than they were paying in New York. Now we would be paying more for silver, gold here in the United States, and people would be sending it to us. Then, unfortunately, I would end up rolling out platinum coins and paying off the national debt, and that means big governments are going to get burned. But it's better to see a government of another country get burned than the people get burned. And then I would put us back on a full-blown, straight-up gold and silver standard. How could that happen? That would happen like this. You would have to, unfortunately, zero out a lot of bills, a lot of money. People that have savings accounts would be devastated, but there's less people with big savings accounts than don't have big savings account. I would be willing to bet the majority of the people watching this video right now don't have more than $10,000 in their bank account. And I'm saying majority. I know there's going to be a couple of you. I know there's a couple of you that have fat savings accounts. But I know you also have stacks. If you have a stack, you'll be okay. If you don't, you will be devastated, unfortunately. There's going to be less multi-billionaires. That means guys like Warren Buffett would be devastated. Would they be homeless? No, because they probably have assets too. Guys like Elon Musk, would he be devastated? No. He would still have his companies. He would still have stuff. Whatever he owns, physical items, his bank account would be essentially devastated. And essentially, I would also launch a flat tax, which means you only pay taxes on what you buy. If you've got the money to buy a new car, you've got the money to pay a tax on that new car, even if the tax is broken down over the next few years. The same thing, life of the payments 4 years on a car, the tax on that car is for the next 4 years. You buy a new house, well, we already pay property taxes. That I probably wouldn't take away. So, I mean, but here's the thing. A lot of people, it's easy to complain, but a lot of people don't have multiple solutions to stuff. So, yeah, I mean, we all know there's problems. That's why the rich elites, a lot of them figure a way to solve a problem. How can I solve this problem of, I don't know, whatever. And then when you solve it, people are like, oh, my word, I'd pay money to not have to deal with my a good example. I don't want to wait 8 hours for a Tesla to charge. Let's say you have a Tesla. 8 hours? I don't want to wait 8 hours. Oh, well, you know what? Let's come up with a solution to that. If we make batteries and we make them purely out of silver, The thermodynamic property would pass the electricity and store it almost instantly. Let's make the batteries out of silver. Oh, I would pay more money for that. If you want that fixed, you solve the problem for someone. Now, some people would make the argument, people aren't going to want to pay that. If you've got a lot of money, you getting a battery that has, a few kilos of silver, a $4,000 silver battery, and you've got plenty of money to have a car charge instantaneously, that is priceless. You cannot put money value on your time and your life. You only live so long. So, the whole comment, there's a lot to take in on that comment because, there are problems. And like I said, I've had this conversation with a few of my Democrat friends. And, if they're not too far Democrat, that we can talk it out, because I'm not too far Republican that I can't talk it out. I do have some people that I know that are so hardcore Republican, the slightest talk that someone's doing something wrong and they snap. And I'm talking snap. So, when I see a Democrat do it, I don't think really much of it because I know there's people on both party lines. So who knows? We'll see what happens. Like I said, don't take offense to this comment because I don't get too political usually. But there's a lot to take in. There's a lot of problems, and let's be honest, problems are only getting worse. All the more reason to stack silver and gold. Let's see, 2026 is the last year, of printing. Remember, the 14 electronic printers and shut down as Dems ding their feet with Clarity Act 6 minus weeks away. Most are missing as the Fed conference is not on your lips, as well as the, I'm not sure, Sibos conference. So community may or may not be knowledgeable. Oops. That is how most miss it in the media. Was no help as distractions clog the news, cycles, wars, accelerations, as the collapse is, you guessed it, imminent. So obviously there's always going to be a certain amount of media propaganda. They know if they clog the news with one story, it takes away. I'll give you a perfect example, in my opinion. I don't know how many of you have been seeing. If you follow, you don't see it on Facebook. You have to be on TikTok, I think it is, to really catch a lot of stuff. So September 1/1. There was a lot of stories going around about that. A lot of people talking about it. And even a lot of controversy. This past year had more controversial videos coming out than ever before on what really happened on that day. Scientists, a lot of different people coming out and saying how what happened it just didn't make sense. We should have seen full scale those videos on that day, but something else happened. Poor Charlie Kirk. And I say poor Charlie Kirk because I really did like him. I liked his videos. I would always watch them. No one deserves that. He has kids. But that clogged the airways. You didn't hear nothing about that. And so I find that interesting that they can put one story up that catches everybody's attention and distracts, and no one's really talking about the collapse that is coming. It's no coincidental that the price of silver plunged, price of gold plunged. It's not going to stay down, in my opinion. And some of us see through it, and we are labeled tinfoil hat nuts for now. Later on, we won't be tinfoil hat nuts. I can think of 10 things right now over the last couple years that they said we were nuts, and now they're like, oh, I guess the truth is coming out. And me being me, is quick to go back to people. I hate to say this. If I see you, hey, remember when you thought that was all fake? It's not so fake now. You're hearing about it. Oh, well, I didn't know then what I know now. Exactly. But yet people are quick to cast judgment because the news says it. It's purely propaganda, in my opinion. So, yeah, a lot of stuff in that comment. I don't know a whole lot about that stuff to really talk. Clarity Act 6 and a few other things. I don't really know about what that is. I will have to look that up. Those of you, that do a lot of research, I mean, you can look that stuff up too. Let's see here. Christopher, if you want to find a true Bible... Oh, did we read that? Did it come up twice? A true Bible church, good luck. All modern churches are worshiping different Jesuses. I don't know how that comment came up again. Right there. So, with that being said, that is all of the comments that we made it through. We ended up answering everything. I may, if we get a lot of comments on this video, I may do a video tomorrow and go over it again. Let's just see here. Oh, my word, 1.5 hours. Some people ain't going to watch this video to the end. There's no way. An hour and a half on a Friday. If you're driving to work right now, you drove past work for an hour and a half. So a lot of people will probably not make it to the end. But there was a lot of comments. People wanted to get their questions answered. They wanted to give their opinion, their feedback. And me being me, I like to talk. In fact, my buddy was actually going to pick up a friend to go do something. And he told her, hey, I'm going to take T to go pick up a couch. Should only be 20 minutes. And she's like, the way he talks, there's nothing 20 minutes about it. And sure enough, when I got the couch in the back of the truck, I started talking to the owner of the couch. And after about 5 or 10 minutes, the guy puts the truck in like reverse and then drive. And I was like, oh, I got to let you go. And I just kind of, it made me think what was going on. And then I said, I'll let you go. I appreciate it. I'm going to see if I can find you a really good ounce of silver that you would like, that relates to you and the things you're interested in. And so I get in the truck, and he told me that. It's just like, he's like, hey, remember, I got to go pick up so-and-so. And, you know, it's funny. She said, nothing is 20 minutes with you because you like to talk. Sure enough, that's exactly what happened. So the video, not an hour today, hour and a half. With that being said, though, it was a great video. I enjoyed making it and answering y'all's comments. I know some people might feel like maybe they didn't like one of the answers that I talked about. And I apologize. You know, sometimes religious conversations come up. Sometimes political questions come up. And I try to answer everything in my honest opinion. And I'm try to be fair and unbiased. I don't want to be biased one side. I think that's unfair. I will say no president has ever walked on water, in my opinion. You know, people do based on who backed them and what they think is right. Obviously, you know, if someone backs you and you're losing, you gotta pay those people back. Who knows? We'll see what happens. Hopefully things do get better. If not, hopefully silver and gold go back up because it is real wealth, and I think people that are stacking are going to be in a better position for it later. With that being said, I thank you all for watching, commenting. Be sure to check out some of the other videos on this. And if you're not subscribed, take a quick minute, hit that subscribe button. I don't think this is going to be a video that's going to get many subscribers because it's so long and a lot of people don't have the patience for long videos. But if you made it to the end, put 2 periods at the end of your comment. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you again on T-Square Talk. Take care, everybody. Have a great day. Bye-bye. That's right. Hit that thumbs up. Don't forget that thumbs up.